Sureness.
Okay.
Start na.
So we're going to have your practical exam that will involve the motor system, okay? And that includes the cerebral cortex or the brain, which is made up of your hemisphere, cerebral hemisphere. You have your another motor system, which is the cerebellum, and your basal ganglia. So doon tayo magko-concentrate sa mga structures na yan, no? Okay. So this will be the specimen that we are going to show you during this examination. And what we're going to do is we'll just ask you to identify the structure and maybe give you what is the Brodmann's area, what is the main function, etc. Okay? Now, so you have the surface of your brain or your cerebral cortex. These are made up of convolutions. Okay? You see these convolutions, and these convolutions are known as your gyri. Okay? And in between your convolutions, you have shallow indentations, which are this one, and these are known as your sulci. Deeper or bigger indentations are known as your fissures. An example of a fissure is your sylvian fissure, which is the biggest fissure, and you also have this one, which is known as your superior sagittal fissure. Okay, yung tinatawag natin superior sagittal, separating the two cerebral hemisphere. You have the right and the left. And we know for the fact that the left side of your brain, cerebral cortex, is the dominant hemisphere in the sense that it is in this part of your brain about 90 to 96% or 100%. Mostly the dominant contains your language area. Nandoon yung language area mo, wherein you're able to understand and able to talk. Okay? Wherein one language area known as your Broca's area, which is Brodmann's area number 44 and 45, and that is that area where you're able to express what you want to say. Okay? The other one is in the parietal area, which is known as your Wernicke's area, which is located in the superior parietal, at the superior border of your parietal, where you have there your Wernicke's area, again, an area for comprehension. Okay? So if it is the Broca's area that is defective, the patient will not be able to express. Hindi siya makakapagsalita. So ang tawag dyan, motor aphasia, or sometimes we call it Broca's aphasia. Another term for it is what we call non-fluent aphasia. Ibig sabihin, hindi siya makapagsalita. Okay? While if you involve your Wernicke's area, wherein is responsible for comprehension, if you have a lesion involving the Wernicke's, you develop what we call a sensory aphasia. Yung isang motor, no? Sensory aphasia, or we call it the Wernicke's aphasia, or sometimes we call it the fluent aphasia. Ibig sabihin, salita lang siya ng salita, pero hindi naman walang sense yung kanyang sinasabi. Okay? Sensory, Wernicke's, or fluent aphasia, pare-pareho yan. Okay. Now, sabi ko nga, this is your sylvian fissure. So you have to know these important fissures to be able to delineate which are the different lobes of your brain. Okay? So if this is your sylvian fissure, below the sylvian fissure is your, we call this your temporal lobe. Okay? Above, you have the frontal and parietal. And posteriorly, here, you have your occipital lobe, which is well appreciated if you look at it on the medial side. Mas ma-appreciate mo siya. Okay? But anyway, so you have here your frontal, temporal, parietal, and your occipital. So there must be a landmark here that separates the frontal from your parietal lobe. And that is your central sulcus na tinatawag natin. Now, how will you be able to identify the central sulcus? Okay. Now, first thing you have to do is look at this is your frontal lobe, right? Okay, this is parietal lobe. So, ang central sulcus will be, you have to identify, una muna yung precentral gyrus. Usually, the precentral gyrus, hanapin mo yung U-shape. There is a U-shape here, this one. Okay? Yeah. Okay? Because when you say, this is actually the paracentral lobule na tinatawag natin. Now, the paracentral lobule is made up anteriorly by your precentral gyrus and posteriorly your postcentral gyrus. So, yan ang Rolandic fissure mo. Okay? So in front of that is your pre-central gyrus, and posterior to that is your post-central gyrus. This is your motor strip, and this is your parietal strip, which is your somatosensory area, which is Brodmann's area 1, 3, 2, and this one is Brodmann's area number 4. Okay, so pag sinabing Brodmann's area, it refers to the precentral gyrus, and the somesthetic area is Brodmann's area 3, 1, 2. Okay, so central sulcus, precentral sulcus. Okay, this is your precentral gyrus, and here is your premotor area, tinatawag natin. Okay?